Alright, what I did is really stupid. I just hit stop and record mid load. This loads up. This is gonna be hilarious. Highly dangerous. Wow, it worked. That's crazy. Well, here's the part two. As you can see here, I have footprints, so you can see footprints in snow, sand, etc. Put in whatever element you're stepping in, you see a footprint for. There's an E and B, so that when you step on the grass, it smushes it or it moves out of the way, like so. Very immersive, super cool mod. Here's an Arnold Schwarzenegger follower. I of course tweaked it to make him taller and to also shell texture his armor there, alongside changing his armor to something that makes sense to him. He's he's his race, specifically Sumerians. They like to wear bulky fur like this, and it's cold out. He can't be shirtless like I would make him. But yeah, there's Conan or Arnold Schwarzenegger. I also tweaked his skin too to be more accurate. Where'd my helmet go? Yeah, I also tweaked the skin too though. Where's my freaking helmet? What? Am I going crazy here? This is not my helmet. Where's my helmet? I'm about to run back. You know what? Screw it. But yeah, that's the character I modded in here. Actually, he can come along. Oh yeah, another thing I tweaked with him, specifically in his ESP, is I changed his voice, as you can hear there. Yeah, that sounds like Arnie. No, you don't need to follow me. I got real off. Come on. Mod wise, I have a mod called Seasons, which basically gives you different seasons depending on you know the time of year, which is pretty awesome because Seasons mixes with various other mods. Specifically, the only landscape mods that I put in my game are ones that um, adamantly say that it's Seasons compatible because it's very important. That's the last thing I want is like to put a mod in here that doesn't have Seasons functionality because it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be jarring. I've seen hundreds of different mod builds of this game, and I didn't like any of them because none of them look like Skyrim anymore. What is that? What's the music about? Who's fighting? Whatever. So I'm just gonna run ahead here. But yeah, I've seen hundreds of builds of this game, and none of them seem to do it right. First and foremost, the first thing you need to do with any modded build is you need to put physics in all of the hair. Second thing, you need skeletons and meshes for every race. That is a must-have because that instantly kills the immersion. And then third, you have to shell texture anything that requires shell texturing. Okay, you just put on his helmet for some reason. I know what mod that is. It's called Read the Room. I don't know why you put that on. By the axe and the sword. That's pretty cool. Actually, can I put the axe on the left and the sword on the right? That still looks dumb. Let's do dual swords. Alright, that's awesome. I like the symmetrical look. That looks like a bug there. He's still holding his hat. See it on his hand? That's definitely a bug. I'm gonna have to go to the mod page, see what's going on there. I have E&B water, majestic mountains, seasons compatible, of course. Of course, the tree replacement, which I think is called Uvenwald, among other things. This is a excuse me. This I think is called interesting. I can't remember the name of the mod. There's a mod that just makes the environment more interesting, which is a must-have too. The ESO standing stones, the base game standing stones look like wieners. They look like dildos sticking out of the ground. So of course I replaced those. There's starting gear just littered everywhere. You kind of have to look, but there's chests just laying around with different types of starting gear everywhere, which is pretty awesome. Makes starting a new game less difficult, less of a headache. I'm a little warrior here. I noticed something that's bothering me a little bit, killing my immersion. Yeah, it's gonna be a toughie. I know the first one is I need. I have to turn off this I need. Not specifically I need, but the notifications here. I still get hungry and sleepy. I just won't be able to see it. There we go. And I don't know what that's called. And it should be hard to find, right? Destructible and dynamic. There's a lot of stuff to just be sifting through. I might have to skip this part and just carry on with the video. I don't want to take. It's got to be loot and degradation. Extra style disable. So now you don't see it. It's still there, but you don't see it. There we go. Immersion's over 9,000. Alright, this is awesome again. Yeah, it was bothering me a little bit. Not a fan of UIs and stuff. There's that SMIM in combination with the lanterns, the tree mods, of course. That moss is bright on the bottom of that tree. I wonder if they did that on purpose. It's kind of jarring. He puts on his helmet before combat. The wolves, of course, are Fusa or shell textured too. They have a special mod that makes them look like actual wolves, texture-wise. It looks like a real wolf. It's pretty awesome. I have Sea of Spirits, which is basically, I think it's called Sea of Spirits. Whatever the mod is that gives you underwater stuff, like monsters and treasures and plants. All of my guards look amazing. It's pretty much the combination of the accessories, among other mods, that it gives variance to them. Speaking of variance, I have diverse Skyrim too, which gives you female guards. So by the way, sorry women, but you absolutely would not be in the military in those days. You'd be in the house cooking or getting raped by bandits. It's unfortunate, but it's life. It's the other wolf mod. Okay, let's go. I saw 2 dead wolves. There's more than 2. There's like 3. Pretty sure it's 3. There's usually 3 up on this hill. I only saw 2 corpses. So if I don't run to that third one, uh-oh. That's called Civil War, which basically causes NPCs to attack. You literally walk past wars, and Rayloff refuses to not participate. So I usually just keep going because I don't want to. Oh my God, move! Birds, you can kill the birds. I could shoot that bird with an arrow and collect its feathers if I wanted to, which is pretty awesome. I like that interesting mod, whatever it's called. I want to say interesting roads or ancient artifacts or something like that. Whatever that mod is that makes the environment more cool. I love it. There's the children mod I brought up earlier. It's really KS children in combination with Axis overhaul. It's in my build specifically. It's best to like search like cracks and crevices of the land because you run into treasures. There's treasures hidden everywhere in all shapes and sizes of different treasure boxes, and they have some pretty good stuff in them. Like earrings. I could put what does this look like? I could put earrings on, dude. Excuse me. You can't see it because of my hair. I have them on though. The mesh is definitely there. Just my hair is drooping over it. Relics of Hyrule, which gives you you can start the Legend of Zelda, which is of course an out of the way immersive mod. Bards are so distinctive now. Look at him. A little bit on the feminine side. Yeah, you can identify a bard from a mile away. All of the old women look individual. They all look super unique now because of the accessories. I went crazy. I went ham on the accessories. NPCs of different races are so much more distinctive now too in my build. Like that, there's no mistaking that's a wood elf. He's even like he's He's ultra lore friendly because he has the antlers. Most people don't know Bosmer or Wood Elves. They actually have horns, which is part of their lore. Isn't that nutty? Look at the size comparison too. Wood Elves are very tiny. He's shorter than the old lady. It's pretty nuts. All of these mods just fit together so well. There's more of that parallaxing I was talking about. I'll parallax the heck out of some textures if need be. Only if the texture, the default texture jars me. I want to throw this scratchy now. There's Girder. Look at Girder's overhaul. It's not even an overhaul. Just look at the accessories and stuff. There's a mod in here called True Grit, which basically makes the NPCs change their clothing on a daily basis. That's why Gerda's wearing green right now. She usually wears blue. She can wear red, yellow, blue, pink. She has a lot of different outfits she can wear. Textures, of course, upscaled to fit. She's got the SMP hair in combination with the True Grit, in combination with my skin mod, in combination with my skeleton, my meshes, the added physics for her body. Um, this accessory mod adds gloves to the lumberjack or the wood mill workers. It's just pretty nuts. This is an incredible. It's so immersive and it still feels like the base game. You know, it's just better. It just looks better. I think this is what everything would look like. In my opinion, this is what everything would look like if it was released today. It would just be up to date, you know. There's an unobtrusive, super lore friendly mod for Ciri. It's Kid Ciri from Witcher. I think she's adorable. I put her in here. It's this follower in combination with DAR to modify her animations so that she doesn't, do anything weird. Cause excuse me, she's still a little kid. There's that laundry mod. Just puts laundry all over the place. Super immersive. You probably already noticed the animals everywhere. Speaking of animals, there's Stump. Stump's been overhauled. Every dog in the game has been switched with a real dog model. So it's incredible. I love the size of Stump too. He looks like a very protective, reliable dog. I like that. RS Children, Jesus Christ. RS Children just destroys every other child mod in comparison. And it's so lore friendly because, where'd he go? It's so lore friendly because they use the base game hair. To his hairstyle there, they use the base. They use vanilla style hair meshes, which is incredible. Again, unobtrusive. If it's lore friendly, I chunk it in there. There's dwarves. I have dwarf NPCs in the game now. In combination with the playable race, it looks incredible. I of course modified the mesh slightly myself to make more sense next to the other races. And then there's of course celebrity NPCs just modded all throughout my game. Here's I call him Ragnar. I can't remember his name, but he's from Vikings. Just incredible. And the only celebrity mods I put in my game are the ones that are just accurate, accurate to a T, like no nooks or crannies in the modeling. I said something about diversity earlier. There's I can showcase it here. It's Diversify Skyrim or Diverse Skyrim. I can't remember the name of it, but it pretty much adds in. I'm not sure if you could tell from here, but it makes some of the NPCs fat. Just the NPCs that would be fat, it makes them fat. It adds in pregnant women. I'll see if I can find one. There's at least one pregnant woman for every hold or city. Hold on, I'll go check that out in a second. Here's another mod which is I think it's called Handicap. It's a Mihel mod which puts handicap civilians in the game. As you see here, this old lady is paraplegic, so she sits in the chair all day, which is pretty awesome. I have little things that you probably wouldn't notice like this. It's called animated ivy. See the ivy animating? Barely noticeable. You can't even tell from this distance whether it's moving. Here's another example of the shell texture getting real close. Now YouTube with their resolution limitations, you probably would never know. But yeah, all of my creatures are shell texture like that. If it has fur, I'll show more examples. I didn't forget. I can't remember her name. I think her name is Sigrid. I have to cough so bad. Let me drink water. This is so disrespectful. Sorry about coughing in a mic like that. So rude. Looking for Sigrid. Can't find her. I'm just trying to cover mods as I go by. There's 1,000 in here, so it's a lot. I can't even remember the name of that. I think it's called Farm Co. It just adds farm animals everywhere. Um, this is graveyards. It just adds graveyards to the world space, in sensible places. So yeah, there's an actual graveyard in Riverwood now. This is just incredible. My statues of each and individually have been overhauled. Here's a good example. It's the statue of Mara. Textures upscale, kept the same color, but I added to the mesh water. There's water in the bowl. Just makes sense. Super lore friendly, immersive, updates it, just the whole nine, right? I gotta go find. I think her name is Sigrid. So the other guy's name Alvar. I think it's Alvar's wife. I'm willing to bet my life savings Sigrid is inside of her home. I'm gonna have to enter their home for a second. Just mods everywhere. Fusa texturing. Get in close here. See it? All my animals have this texturing. It looks amazing. I made sure there was no mistake or room for mistake. I actually think that's a calf. Here's a full-grown cow here with the Fusa texturing. There's the bull. The bull has Fusa texturing. Isn't that incredible? The egg mesh there. Big eggs. They're breakable too. Yeah, I don't know where she is. She's usually outside hoeing or gardening. I don't know where she is now. I kind of hesitate to just enter people's homes because it makes them alert. They won't be hostile. It makes them alert. I could knock, but it's not night. I'm just gonna enter. Screw it. See what happens here. See if she's in here. See, she already told me to leave. Okay, there's Sigrid. She looks naked. Why is she naked? What is she doing? Is she bathing? Oh, I gotta go. I'm so glad it didn't catch her. Sigrid looked naked right there. You have to be careful. I have a couple mods in here that cause NPCs to get naked from time to time. One first and foremost being bathing, which you could probably tell from my NPC here, he has dirt on his face. That's because you can get dirt and blood on yourself and you have to wash it off. The NPCs have their own AI so that it schedules so that they bathe too. So you gotta be careful when you. That's why I don't walk into people's homes anymore. Because if you walk into someone's house, this isn't Zelda. If you walk into someone's house, they'll either tell you to get out, they'll become hostile. They might be in the middle of having sex or bathing. Like they're normal people. So you have to be careful. So I couldn't show you Sigrid, unfortunately. I showed you Sigrid, but I couldn't show you Sigrid because she didn't look dressed to me. Uh, trying to think what else could I show here, mod wise. I think this is the gist of it. I'll um I'll definitely do a third video, and I'll go out, like I'll go far out, and I'll just like showcase more stuff, like Whiterun, Whiterun is so heavy, it's so memory dense. It like Whiterun will slow your computer down if you don't make sure your memory is adequate. Here's a bridge mod which replaces the Riverwood bridge with a bridge that makes sense. There's two versions of this bridge mod too. One that uses the wood textures from the longhouses. And there's another one that uses the default game wood texture, which is it's like greenish. I don't like the other version of this bridge, so I chose to go with this one. Looks awesome. Yeah, I already covered. I have E&B water. There's a lot of bird mods. There's fish mods. Specifically sea of spirits. Um, the landscape has been completely overhauled. Everything's been completely upscaled. The clouds are no longer just a texture. They're now 3D volumetric physical clouds in the sky. Um, the trees have been replaced with Ubenwald, which means hundreds of different meshes added in. Of course, everything you see is seasons compatible, which is a biggie too. Seasons is very important. I think seasons revolutionizes this too. Lanterns everywhere. Again, I said in a previous video, I'm not a big fan of ENB light. I think it's only applicable for certain things. That NB light, you could get excessive with that and end up destroying your game with it. I'm gonna enter here, showcase a little more. It's almost been 30 minutes. Now, I'll definitely consider doing a video for E3 where I'm just showcasing like how crazy my dungeons are now. So this is what a typical end looks like. Every end is completely different just because, again, I have NPC, celebrity NPCs littered throughout my game. This is Scarlett Johansson. You just, and it's the most spot on celebrity NPCs. Basically, if it doesn't look like the celebrity, I don't put it in. And the end result is all of my ends are just occupied with really unique looking NPCs. That's Zelda from Legend of Zelda. It's Twilight Princess variation of her. So lore friendly. The bard with his flagrant looking behind. I love excuse me, I love the accessory mods for this reason though. It makes everything so distinctive now. Like there's no room for mistake. That's a Lungari, which is like a rabbit person. There's Triss from Witcher 3. I think she's in Witcher 3. 2 or 3. I think she was introduced in 2 actually. This moron, can't remember his name. I'm sure his NPC looks wildly different. I just don't know what the default version of him looks like. But I think this is a combination of brows and beards of power, which makes him look just. He still looks the same as the vanilla game. He just looks cooler, more unique. There was I already passed her up, but where is she? Potastic Panda's NPC. There she go. Recorder. I might have didn't record her. This is a special version of recorder that has like overhauls and reworks, tweaks to her, added onto it. This is the end result. Looks pretty good. She done completely blend with everything else, but I think recorder was never meant. I don't think she's really meant to be like super lore friendly because her voice lines, she discusses chocobos and stuff. Think of her character as someone from like a different multiverse or something. Just so different. They look different, but they look the same, which is what I wanted. There's an example of him being fat. You can see his gut, how big he is now because of diverse Skyrim. The height differences, that's a big thing too. Most people miss out on when they showcase their super modded builds. They don't scale the heights for each individual race like they should do. My NPCs and races are all individually different. That means nobody's the same height, which is pretty awesome. No crazy fire mods. There was a mod called Embers XD. I chose not to put that in here because it's too different. It's just wildly different from the vanilla game. I don't want to go that far if not necessary. And the only thing I did was upscale. I upscaled the meshes and the textures so that I can't screen arch them. But that was it. NPCs. I'll add an NPC if an NPC looks whoa, dang. If an NPC looks somewhat immersive and has SMP or physics hair, I'll put them in here. Dang, I wasn't expecting that. What is that NPC called? Yeah, so it's been about 25 minutes here. I can't think of anything else to showcase. Let's do this. I think I'm gonna make a video 3. I have a mod in here called Sleep to Save, which basically if you sleep one time, that's it. The only time you can save your game following that is if you go to sleep. So you have to sleep to save your game. So automatic saving everything turns off, which is pretty awesome. It's immersive. That's why I just saved right there. Cause I'm gonna make video 3 later. I'm gonna rent a room here just because I have more to showcase. Okay, so she gave me the room. There's the ovens mod back there. See it? Puts ovens all over the place. Um, Mihail's Bones SE, which is just a special edition version of the Bones mod he made, which gives you skeletons for all the creatures. Hanging rabbits. There's way more hanging rabbits here. I also have hanging guars, hanging chickens, but they're only for specific demographics. So yeah, we're about 25 minutes in here. Let's find my bed. Is that my bed or let's see. If it lets me sleep, this is my bed. Okay, so I'm gonna go to sleep here just to show off this too. So this is DAR in combination with use those blankets, and boom, your character actually equips a blanket when they sleep. And I can't get close enough here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a fusa or shell textured blanket too, which is pretty awesome. So there's just a little addition here. And then most NPCs they strip down when they get into bed because that makes sense to sleep in armor. And then to get up, you just tap up. He gets rid of the blanket and then he stands up. Isn't that incredible? Now I can't save anymore. I would break that, but I don't want to get in trouble. I have a mod called Destructible Skyrim so that you can break chairs and furniture. And then I have another mod called Breakable Bottles or Destructible Bottles so that you can break bottles. So I could destroy this room if I wanted to. And I managed to get all of it to play together. I'm very meticulous, needless to say. Yeah, I just wanted to showcase that. I've already saved it out and tested out the sleeping. The video has almost been 30 minutes. I'm gonna show race menu. By the way, I usually turn off this command menu. It's so easy to do in your interface folder. Did I do that right? Show race menu. Oh no, I did not. Show race menu. I usually don't use this console. I rather just turn it off because it's not immersive. So here's all of my races. I just want to showcase one other thing before I close out the video here, which is my freaking orcs. What's his body weight? Oh, he's not max weight. God, he can get bigger. Oh God, look how huge he looks. And let's do this in combination with. Sorry, the hair kind of sucks. Whoa, that's the Terra Ellen hairs. Give him dreads. I was thinking S&P hair, but I don't feel like fishing it out. There's thousands of hairs in this collection here. Yes, I do not like Apache, KS. I don't like any of those hair mods, but I have them in here just because I might want to. I like the character creator, so it doesn't hurt to have. So here's an example of what my orcs look like. Jesus, dude. This is how meticulous I am. This is why when I look at other builds or other Skyrim games, I'm not impressed because I legitimately think people have no idea what they're doing when they mod their games. These orcs specifically are based on the Warcraft movie. Those are my favorite iterations of orcs, and amongst other things, their heights. Orcs are big. Orcs are supposed to be huge compared to humans. As you can see, I pulled off. He has a skeleton that makes his shoulders super wide, his head smaller, makes his shoulder blades more pronounced. He has his own custom mesh, which is a bodybuilder mesh, which just makes him massive in comparison to normal dudes. And this is the end result. He just looks like a monstrous orc. And I went through and painstakingly in detail went through every race too. So for instance, my wood elves, my bosmers, they have antlers. They're very tiny. They're kind of childlike in physicality. My imperials are pretty normal, but they're the thing with them is their skin. They have very straight, very muscular skin. My Nords are hardy, so they're the tallest of the human races. Um, they usually have max body weight. Um, high elves are super skinny. They're elves, so they're hairless. All of my elves are hairless, dark wood, and high. Just little things. I just went through everything pretty much. My Khajiits are slightly taller than humans because they're more based on tigers and less on cats. So they're naturally large, very very buff looking. They have their own custom beast-like skeleton. Same with Argonians. I had to research it. Originally, I wanted the Argonians to be very short, like lizards, but then I realized lore dictates that Argonians aren't small. They're big, actually. They're bigger than humans, usually. So I'm gonna stop dragging out the video here. I just wanted to showcase how cool everything looks here. And God bless.